Howdy. Welcome to my shop. My name's Ron and I'll be your host for the next 10 minutes or so. Being a fourth generation carpenter, wood is that's my language. It's my living, it's my hobby, it's my passion. One of those passions is making stocks. I've never had any formal training in this. I just wanted to put a piece of wood on a gun one day, and I seemed like that'd be a pretty unique challenge, so I tried it. And been going at it ever since, but honestly, I owe a lot of my success to my customers, my friends that have suggested this or that, different ways of doing it to produce a better outcome. And so I appreciate them. I owe them a great deal. The finish that I use was suggested by a friend of mine that owns a gun shop in Georgia, a guy named Dan. I've been friends with him for many years, and I owe him for that knowledge. So I don't suggest that my way is the only way. That's just not the case. I picked up my abilities to do this from watching other people and seeing other things and then figuring out how to do that. So it's a process. Some ways are better, cleaner, faster. They require less effort. On and on it goes. And I'm open to learning new and better ways. I'm always looking for that. My grandfather used to say, never let a day go by that you don't learn something. So when I do, I'll often look up, thanks, Pop, because no matter how old you get, you still need to be learning new things. So come on in, see what's going on today. Howdy. I'm starting a double barrel shotgun buttstock today. It's a Spanish. It was made in Spain and it was imported by a place called Richland Arms company in Michigan, and it kind of took a pretty bad fall or something. Broke right there in the wrist. The owner sent it to me, and he sent it to me with all these pieces in a plastic bag. I couldn't figure out why in the world he took them out to send them to me loose. So I went to all the trouble to figure out how they went and put them back in. And then, lo and behold, I got to looking at how the gun was made, and I realized you have to have them out to make the gun. You can't just slip it on like a Stevens because it won't clear all this stuff. You have to literally, it's kind of a morph between side locks and box locks and modern locks, to where you literally have to put the top tang in separate and drop it in place and mill all that out first, and then you put the trigger portion in after that. So that took me about 30 minutes to figure that out. So pick out some wood for it and get started. I have to match this forearm, which is in decent shape, and the color is quite light. This is probably not American black walnut, but the two don't match right now at all. The two are several shades apart. So I'm gonna find something that I can make this be the same color as American walnut. And when I strip this to redo it and rechecker it, I can adjust the color at that time. I found a really nice piece of wood. See, the buttstock originally had a fair amount of figuring on it, some fiddleback, and I want to try to duplicate that. It's a pretty nice piece. This little 20 gauge, it's a pretty nice little gun. So I want to try to jazz it up a little bit. This has got some really nice crotch wood right here in the back end. The front of the stock will be up here where it's nice and straight and strong. This was going to be a full-length stock, but there was a nail in it that I discovered, and so by the time I chiseled the nail out, it ruined it for a full-length stock. So I think I'm just going to salvage the butt portion of this and use it on this one. It's also thick enough. See, this thing, the original has a little European style cheek piece on it, and I'm going to duplicate that. So I need the thickness for that. I brought this thing to my shop from the field, which I air dry stuff for about 10 years out in my wood lot, and then bring it in. This was brought in in December of 17. So it's been in here a while. It's completely acclimated, and it's nice and dry. It was down to 7% in 17 when I measured it. So it's got a little straight grain on this side, but it's got some figure down here in the very tail end of it. We're going to capture all of that I can. This thing being cracked in the middle is kind of hard to hold it still and draw a pattern, but that's close. I'm gonna cut this thing wild in the back just to make sure I've got enough room to do what I'm gonna do. The front of this thing is kind of weird. It's really pretty, but it's kind of harder to make. Where these little tops bump out right there. There's a half round on the top, and it goes into this receiver. Can you see that little half round right there? That's where it goes into. It helps lock it in. It's a really nice touch. It's a little bit kind of like Browning, something Browning would do, putting a little tab there. This one runs the risk of breaking right where this one broke anyway. That's because of how thin they are. So with his permission, I'm going to make this about 1/8 of an inch thicker right here in the wrist. Also, this is straight grain, and this was really curly grain up here in the wrist. That's just asking for trouble, putting curly grain in the wrist on a tiny shotgun like that. I mean, 22 rifle's okay, but not on a shotgun. This, one thing I need to check before I get too far, this grip cap has got a screw in it. Maybe, yeah, it's loose. I can get it off and put it onto this one. So I'll reuse the same one. So my line is actually the straight line where this wood ends right here on this straight line. It's just a straight sheared off cut because I can reuse that. Sometimes they put these things on and they glue them, and you can't get them off without destroying them. As I was running this through the bandsaw, I noticed something. There's a twist in it. There's a little high spot on this. I'm going to run it through the planer and see if I can flatten this thing out and make sure it's just got some uneven surfaces in here. I'm going to straighten it up before I do anything else. Because this thing has really got some twist to it and warp. The good thing is I've got plenty of thickness. I can get rid of it and true it up. This is the flattest surface that I have in the shop. This is a machine cast iron table saw top, and so I trust it. So I've got a high corner here and here, diagonally opposing high corner. So I'm going to take off some of this with a hand plane. Okay, that's flat. It's sitting flat everywhere. It's hitting the same. It's not wiggling at all. Now this is obviously not been affected. This has all kinds of problems, but I got one flat side that I can run across my planer this side down, and it will mimic. This side will become parallel to this side. Then I can tell more where my high spots are and keep taking them out. I've got 2 1/8 of an inch, 2 1/16 of an inch, and that's about 1/8 of an inch more than I need to make this thing and put that cheek piece on it. I also just lost all my drawing dimensions that I drew on there before, but I did it once, I can do it again. But I have one little corner here that tails off, and that's down around the toe, which is going to be a lot thinner anyway, so as long as I know it's there and don't try to mark a center line off of that because it's inaccurate, I'm good. Just for ease of reference and to be able to get a pretty good line marking this thing out, I'm going to stick this old stock back together, just a screw and some super glue. It'll be good to be able to refer to it and get a halfway decent idea of what that thing, the shape of it and the dimensions of it used to be. That'll let me refer to it better without having to chase it around for 2 pieces of it. That's a little generous on that line. I always overcut a little bit within reason, because if you overcut too much, you got so much to chisel through to actually set the metal pieces in that it's just it's more trouble than it's worth. I've got to make this one a 1/2 inch longer than the other one. Making this on cleaner, fresh planed wood makes that line easier to see as well.